This is Steve from Boxing UK in association with Supreme CBD. Horrible Harry Scarff, or should I call you Angry Harry Scarff? Great of you to
Yeah,
join us, mate.
don't know.
First of
Yeah,
all, how
nice
are
one,
you?
mate. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just, pissed off, disappointed with the result and whatnot. And, as you can clearly understand, it was a very frustrating night. One you look back on and, it was there. I had it all my way and then just switched off for a split second. And, the rest is history. But, frustrated, yeah.
Yeah, before we talk about the controversy, Harry, did you know that you were cruising that fight because you were 9-1 or 10 rounds up on most cards?
Yeah. I knew it was an easy night. It was an easy night. To be honest, it was it was almost too easy at times, and that's no disrespect to Conor Walker, but you could see it in there. Like I was just seeing everything so clear, hitting him at will, getting out of the way. You know what I mean? It was a dominant performance from me. I was doing just as the corner was asking, and yeah, I was happy with everything.
And then the 11th round, can you talk us through it in your own words, Harry? Because you've had a bit to say on social media.
Yeah, I think. No, I think all credit to Conor. He threw the shot, landed the shot, but just before that shot happened, the ref has just pulled me to one side, and I touched on the ref briefly with you off camera there, and I've mentioned it already that it was a name that we saw in Michael Alexander, and I saw he was the ref, and I thought I always remember him for robbing me bad against Troy Williamson because that was a fight which I won in a lot of people's eyes. You know what I mean? And if you want to be, it was a draw at best for him, that Troy Williamson fight. And that's the one that people can go back and see. You know what I mean? That's no, it's long gone. That is. Unless he wants to fight at light middle, then we can get that on. But you know what I mean? I think it was always someone that was in my mind that did me dirty in that fight, and I thought, right, having him as a ref, I saw that he was the name on the ref, and I thought to myself before the fight, I thought, you know what, I should probably appeal this or see if they can change it or something. I just knew he didn't like me or my style or whatever it is. I don't know, but then I felt like he didn't have much control in the ring. I think in terms of like in the clinches. He was pro Conor. Whenever he was holding and working on the inside, he was saying, "Oh, work it out." Whenever I was in a good position on the inside, he was saying, "Oh, breaking straight away," or something like that. If I was working on the inside, then he was on to me about holding. Then he just struggled with it. I thought it was poor officiating, to be honest. He's the worst one I've had in a long time, and I think it makes a big difference when you've got someone in there like that. And just after he gave me that warning, like final warning before he takes points off type warning in the 11th, it was the next series of punches where I get caught with that shot, and I just feel like just switched off for that split second. You know what I mean? Because I had a bit of back and forth words with the ref as well. I said to him, like, I was pleading my case, like, what are you on about? Like, it didn't really matter in that fight if I did get points taken off, but it was one where like, yeah, it was just he was pissing me off, to be honest. And then I get caught with that shot. Got up a bit too early, like definitely got up too early. I should have done like I did in the Fowler fight where I shot up after a knockdown and then I dropped back down to one knee and had a few seconds, but I was a bit scrambled. So then anyway, did the count, got up a bit early. Conor comes in throwing shots and I felt like my hands were up and I was looking for shots back. I was gathering myself, and with how dominant it had been up until that point, I think when I'm looking directly at the fighter, the ref can see that, I wasn't going anywhere. I want one of these where I'm getting like Bambi legged around the ring or anything like that, or my hands weren't down. My hands were up protecting myself. And I felt like a few seconds later, Conor would have punched himself out and I would have been back on top. You would have seen that. Like you seen with Fury and Wilder, when he got knocked down in some of their fights or some of that, for example, then he comes back, but it's like he gets the opportunity. I've seen it's like Fury when he fought Usyk in the first fight.
Yeah,
He
when he
was
got
getting,
across the ring,
his hands were down. He was, legs were gone all around the ring, but they let it carry on because it suits the narrative. It suits the narrative of the card, and I feel like Michael Alexander is one of them referees who will, he'll look to please the promoter whose show he's on. I think that's what he did with Williamson when I fought him and when he was a judge, and then I think that's what he's done this night as well. I think he just ruined it. He got too involved, and it was poor officiating. And I've been in championship contests, many times, and he was definitely the worst official I've had in a long time.
You talk about that Harry, and the common consensus ringside was it was the stoppage to stop you getting knocked out. As a fighter, are you prepared to take that chance that it could have been a bad one if it been let to go on? Or
I mean, you can say it, but I mean, when it's so dominant, I think Tony Bellew touched on it. You know, I
yeah,
think when it's so dominant, you've got to give me every opportunity. And as the champion, you've got to give me every opportunity, to be honest. And I think, you know, if I took another shot and stumbled or something, then maybe. But I want stumbling. I want stumbling. I was there. I was just getting myself back together. And like I said, it's one rule for one rule for another. Because we've seen it in fights where, like, that's where boxing suffers with the consistency, you know, of officials. Again, in my eyes, you know, I don't know. It doesn't sit the best with me, and I suppose that's me knowing in my head how clear I was at the time when he come in, because I remember it clear as day. Like I walked back to my corner, I was just like, oh, like I was sand, but I was like, you know what I mean? It was just frustrated, just frustrating, you know.
I bet.
I'd have liked to have gone out on my shield. And
Right.
I don't think I would have gone out on my shield. I think he would have punched himself out in the next few seconds. And I think I would have flipped it on its head and I would have stuck it straight back on him. But I didn't get that opportunity to do it. So that's all. It's neither here nor there, is it?
Yeah, it must be so frustrating for you, Harry, to have that mindset. Have you seen some of the stuff that's come afterwards? Eddie Hearn saying you're now my favourite fighter, and they expect he signed. I think Conah signed a multi-fight deal, and does that stick a little bit in the throat when you were that close?
No, I don't know. I don't really mind like what other people are doing. I think the Eddie Hearn, you know, he obviously has a relationship with him, but you know, seeing him jumping up and down like that, you know, whatever. If he's got a personal relationship with him, you know, and he's happy for him, then it is what it is. But in the same sense, you've seen another lad there, you know, put on a boxing clinic for 10 rounds, you know, and as a champion, and like I said, get caught with a shot, you know, and then give me my opportunity to go out on my shield. Like I don't think, you know, that's where I'm at with it, you know. But like I said, fair play to Walker. You know what I mean? He got the win. He hit the home run, closed his eyes and hit the home run. You know, it's like with Sam Jones and that. He's been putting stuff out. I've seen people putting out like, oh, there's no such thing as a lucky punch. Well, the very, you know, the no such thing as a lucky punch in boxing. Like, but it's like, why do you feel the need to say that? Because you know that it was a, you know, it was the closest. If there isn't a thing as a lucky such thing as a lucky punch, then that's the closest thing you get into it. Put it that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's why you feel the need to be putting that out there. That ain't coming from anywhere else. That's him putting it out there because he knows that his fighter got away with one. And it leads on to the next point that, you know, there should be a rematch.
That's what I was going to say. Sam Jones has also said there's no rematch.
Yeah, he's come out and said there's no rematch, you know, and contractually there isn't a rematch. I think rematch clauses do get used too much in boxing anyway, and I feel like, you know, I'm a fighting man. Like I don't need a rematch clause in my contract to accept a fight. You know, I feel like many boxers do, but I feel like you know, I think it warrants a rematch. I think the board should look at it and say it warrants a rematch, and you know, promoters and other people should as well. You know, I think everyone, it's clear to see it warrants a rematch. You know, I showed I was the better boxer. I got caught. It was as simple as that. And then, like I said, I would have been back in it. Let me fight. You know what I mean? We're fighters at the end of the day. I'm an experienced fighter. Let me fight till, you know, till my corner want to pull me out, or, you know what I mean? I'm clearly distressed and not defending myself. Not when I'm stood there defending myself, just about, you know, getting back into that fight, because I was and I would have been.
You've got a pretty good man in your corner in Lee Eaton, or who'll fight you for a way forward, Harry.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. You know, Lee's good. He'll get. There'll be opportunities moving forward. I'm positive that. I'm positive that something good will come out of it. You know, I'm already thinking that way. So. Yeah. I mean, look at me. I don't even look like I've had a fight. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't got a mark on my face. I got caught with one shot in 11 rounds, you know, yeah. and a few little ones to force the ref to come in. But other than that, you know, it was an easy night at the office, maybe too easy. But, you know, credit to Conor Walker. You know, he's become British and Commonwealth champion for under whatever circumstances. You know, he's done that, and it's an achievement. But if he's a man's man, then he should be accepting this rematch, and he should have this rematch and not hide away from it.
I would say that's
because money's all good in it, but if you can, money's all good, and they can hide behind all opportunities, and Sam Jones can say this, that, and the other. But if you're a man's man, it sits well with you. It's what you can go to bed at night thinking, "Oh, I didn't duck that, or I didn't do that." You know what I mean? And I can do that.
Dave Allen on his channel said that you're now in the Who Needs Some club, though, Harry. So being as dominant as you were might have actually not done you many favours when it comes to a rematch.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not, because to dominate like I did, with such ease at times. Yeah, I've always been in a bit of a Who Needs Him club anyway. Even as champion, Sam Jones turned the fight down for Conor Walker a few times. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a champion, I didn't have people, calling for my name or people wanting rematches or anything, So, I think, like you said, Leighton's the man who can with some of these opportunities that he pulls out of the bag for people. So, I think let's see what happens. A couple of weeks off now, and then I'll be back to it.
Well, the last time you lost two off the trot, Harry, you went and won 5 off the trot, including Echo Esserman. So
exactly that. Hopefully, we can finish with, some world title shot or something. You know what I mean? It's just big fights, isn't it? You know what I mean? If we end up with a nice little run here and a couple of big fights, then that's it. But I think I've shown to people that what I'm all about. I'm a very good boxer, classy boxer. And then just switched off at the wrong time. And in the back of my head, I did kick myself because I knew something when I seen that ref's name. I knew there'd be some kind of problem with him, and it was just in the back of my head. And then like I said, he had his words talking shit, and then I fucking get clipped by a shot straight after it. I'm thinking, you bastard. But it is what it is, isn't it? What can we do?
It is. Just looking ahead, Harry, I was going to throw a couple of names at you, and the Northeast accent will give it away. You mentioned about Troy, the rematch, because you two had a bit of back and forth. And another name I would chuck at you up here, someone like Lewis Ritson, that would still be a relatively big fight.
Yeah, anything like that. I'm a game fighter. Like the Troy Williamson one, that was something that's been spoke about. Like I said, if we want to do it at like middle, we can get that fight on if promoters want to put it on and whatnot. You know what I mean? No problem with me. But he didn't want to know after the controversy around our first fight, and then I don't know. It's I think, like I said, something will come, some opportunities will come, but it's just a case of having a couple of weeks. Like I said, credit to Conah. I know it sounds like I'm doing a bit of moaning and that, but fair play. He threw the shot, he landed it, and that's it. You know what I mean? He did his job, to be honest, as best as he could. But it just, like I said, there's so many people who watched it, so many fans, boxing people that are saying like it was just so dominant to flipping completely on its head. And like I said, I've got a few little things that were niggling me in there in regards to the ref. And would have liked to have seen it go on. Like I said, Tyson, keep going back to Tyson Fury, but I'm just saying, like, when it's such a high stakes fight and it means so much for the promoter and stuff, like in the Tyson Fury fight, the officials, they are a bit more lenient. We've seen it. Fighters when they're not defending themselves and they're trying to give them every chance they could, and I felt like he had a problem with me. The referees had a problem with me. He hadn't liked me for whatever reason, and he hadn't liked me in the past. When he scored my fight, and it's bit me in the arse again with him as a ref. So that does, that does not sit the best with me, to be fair.
Last one, Harry, because I know it's 7:15 on a Tuesday. I do appreciate you.
That's it. I'm hiding in the kids' room. Staying away from the madness. They'll be wondering where I am.
All right, last one then quickly, Harry. Did you get a chance to hear any of the atmosphere? Because we were with Walker's fans behind us, but across the arena, you had a fair contingent supporting you as well, mate.
Yeah, no, really, did well on tickets and with fans and everything. Everyone come out for this one, to be honest, just after Christmas. Like, can't thank them enough, and we nearly did it. Nearly got that, like, a perfect performance, and I just fucked it up at the end of it. But thanks to everyone for coming out and supporting me. It was a good one because it was only down the road for us.
Yeah.
Being in Nottingham, and I could hear the fans there, I could hear the crowd, and it's good. It's really special when it's like that.
Well said, mate. Harry, I wish you all the best moving forward, mate. Look forward to seeing you on the fight week very soon. One. Rest and recover, fella, and get back to the kids.
Yeah, that's it. Nice one. Thank you, mate.
Thanks, Harry. You take care, mate.
Yeah, see ya.